Hello everyone, it is I, Ravi, and welcome to the Sunshine Archives. In today's video, I'm going to take you through some original Zettelkasten writing, some Zettelkasten journaling, if you will, that I sat down and wrote on October 11th. I'm still trying really hard to make this a writing practice. It is something that I enjoy when I sit with them, but I've only done it, I think, a handful of times, maybe 3 or 4 times, because it requires a lot of sustained attention and a lot of sitting with my legs down, and sometimes that can be really difficult. But it's something that I'm trying to do and that I love. And I don't know what these Zettels will become. I don't know if there are the beginnings of a memoir, of a poetry collection, a zine, a blog, if they'll just stay Zettels forever. But all I know is that I want to write them and I want to share them. So what I did is that I took out my Zettelkasten box, and I sat down with my stack of Zettels and I read every single one. And if one of them stood out to me, I took my little soap dish, this has little edges in it, and I stood it up on the soap dish so that I could see it. And then as I looked at it, I wrote the new Zettel inspired by it. And I decided to write them on my typewriter. So let's begin. This one is titled 001A2. So this is the card that inspired this card. This card I created in June. I have shown you this card. It's a poem that I wrote. And I really liked Both of Us Nouns, One a Flesh, Another Concept. So I took my card, put it on my little soap dish, looked at it, and then took my typewriter out and typed what that made me feel, what that made me think of. And what came of it was this card. Both of us nouns, one of flesh, one of concept. This brings forth the forever brain concept of mine that I exist as two selves, the one I am and the one I want to be. Who am I currently? Who is that flesh self? They're a tired, chronically ill, queer, trans teacher in love, living in a city, not their soul city, stuck in an unsustainable job that does not allow many material wants, trying at a YouTube channel for the 15th year in a row, healing through communication, therapy, setting boundaries, and self-introspection. But this is not the person that I want to be. Obviously, I do not like being ill. I do not like having pain and being tired all the time. My concept self is not sick. My concept self has no debt. My concept self lives close to nature. My concept self writes books. My concept self has a successful YouTube channel. My concept self is not a teacher. They can have anything they want. There's room. And then that thought continued. I am close to my concept self. I am growing into authenticity daily and working towards the debt and the YouTube, but I'll always be sick. The nature still seems so far away, at the mercy of God, like winning the lottery. And the teaching, I still think I'll be stuck forever. But then what if I had those things? Would I want more? Yes, but you would have achieved so much. Don't let the fear of wanting more stop you from your dreams. All right, so that's what came from that. Then I have one called 001E, which is an extension of 001D. So I wrote 001D August 24th, 2025. I want to do so much, yet the world I live in takes me away from myself. From this card, I just took the first phrase. I want to do so much. And I took that as a prompt and I ran with it. Okay, what do you want to do and why do you want to do it? I want to create. You're already creating. I want to create publicly. You already create publicly. I want to do it more. Why do you want to do it more? To make money? You already make money. Not enough money? How much is enough money? Enough to have a cabin, enough for a new car, enough to overexceed both wants and needs, enough to never worry, enough to pay off debt, enough to never be in debt, enough for an emergency is not financially scary. You could always work more. I don't want to work more. How do you want to work? I want work that feels like play. For the for the play I already do, for the things that fill my cup to pay the bills and then some. I don't want to work more. I don't want to work at all. Tell me how you'll make money in detail. I want to make money from YouTube ads, from sponsorships, and from memberships on my channel. I want to get paid for writing both in subscription and from publishers. I want to get paid from collaboration items. I want to get paid when people click on my links. And then 00E continued. And what this does is give me freedom, the freedom of time. Time becomes my own again. Freedom of want. I don't have to feel guilt for having desire. The freedom of rest. I no longer have to push my body beyond its limits to survive. It gives me the freedom to step away from survival and relish in living. It gives me freedom of mind, a brain occupied by satisfaction and not dread. I know what I want, and I always get what I want. And then we have 005A, so let's go all the way to 005. So this was my Zettel 005, and it was a quote from Agua Viva. I write to you because I don't understand myself, but I'll keep following myself, elastic. And from this card, I took the quote, but I'll keep following myself, elastic. I have to keep following me. Half of what my life is comes from me believing in myself and following true want, true desire, this love, this relationship, this coming into self. All dreams I made happen. The other half was also me, but it was not fully authentic. I made myself a teacher, but from advice and from disbelief that I could do anything else. I found us a home, a beautiful home, but it's not in nature. I have to keep following myself and not another. Some of me is life walked by me, by guidance of others, by dreams of others, my own limitation learned by others. I am limitless. I know what I want, and like everything up to this point in my life, I'm the only one who could get me there. Then we have 012A, so 012. You can see the same themes that are popping up, and what takes up a lot of my brain space is my chronic illness, how tired I am, how exhausted teaching makes me, and how much I just want to be able to play and write and do this for a living because it's what brings me joy, and I just want to always be doing what I love. So this was 012, and it was a quote from a tribute to Freud. Writing is a way to mythologize the self. Writing is a way to remember. And from that came this index card. Writing as resistance. Writing as evidence of existence. Writing as manifesting. Writing as alchemy. Writing as time machine. Writing as ignition for change. Writing as belief in self. Then we have 016A. So 016 had a quote from Envelope Poems by Emily Dickinson. How little is within our power. And I responded with, I like to believe everything is within my power and become increasingly distraught the more slips from my control. I desire control. I am resistant. There's a lot I refuse to let be, like my hopes, dreams, and desires. There are some things I seek to control, and I think that's perfectly normal. I have OCD, clinically diagnosed OCD and OCPD, so control sometimes makes me feel distraught, and other times it makes me feel joyful. Well, welcome to my life. All right, 018A. This is like such a vulnerable video, you don't even know. Okay, 018, this is also from Envelope Poems. And I wrote, all feelings have purpose. And from that came the last card of this writing session on October 11th. Feeling is healing, as invitation to change, as challenge. Will you heed to it? Feeling to signal desire, to guide. If there is one thing to not ignore, it is emotion. Let it rise and spill over. Control it when you need to, or let it crash everything around you. Love is the answer, right? So it's feeling. right. Those were my creative Zettels from October 11th. My Zettelkasten journaling, writing, my authentic, vulnerable self on the internet. Let me know. Let me know what you see this becoming. Like, if it's just a practice where I get to sit down with my thoughts and then I get to archive myself into a box, like, that's beautiful. That's already creation. I'm already creating cards out of it. I'm making videos out of it. It's already a physical thing that exists. But if you see this becoming anything, like a project, like when you read these, do you get ideas? Do you want to write things down? Like, if anything sparked for you while you listen to this video, I'm all ears, baby. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.